over here too. Hi everyone, I'm Ellen.
And I'm Eric.
And this is I Love That. And it's a podcast that we do for our son Jack. And he's 22. And we found these great cards from Tails.com. And it's called the Life Story Interview Kit. And we decided to record our answers instead of just tell him, and so that he could tell his family later on in life.
Yeah.
Or
show who Grandpa and Grandma were.
Right, Grandpa and Grandma, or great Grandpa and Grandma. You never know, you know. I mean, hopefully,
once it's on the internet,
right? It's there forever, unless the world is, unless that meteor. Oh, the meteor didn't hit.
comet,
or the comet.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we're not being paid by Tails.com. We just thought it was a cool idea, and maybe we can, encourage other parents or grandparents to do the same thing for their kids or grandkids. So,
right.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So, is there anything you want to talk about?
I don't have anything else.
You don't have anything?
On the last podcast we said.
This is our second podcast of the day. So, we talked about how I got my ears pierced and all that good stuff. Christmas is just, 4 days away?
Yeah.
So we've got to get to some wrapping presents. And we are live as well on TikTok. We decided to go live while we video record our podcast.
Right.
So, that's what we're doing.
Yep.
So super fun. I don't really have anything either because, I do have one thing. We had a housekeeper come in.
Right.
On, what was it?
Thursday.
It was supposed to be a deep clean. Oh my gosh. She did the worst job. I had to tell her everything to do. She would go, okay, now, where do you want me to dust? Like everywhere.
Everywhere you see dust.
Everywhere you see dust. Or if you don't see it, dust it. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. I was on live for 2 hours, and I don't know exactly what she did, but I had to send her back into the bedroom to dust, pick stuff up not just Swiffer around stuff.
She didn't do the baseboards.
She didn't do the baseboards in the kitchen or in anywhere. It was a bad experience. The first thing she did was vacuum. And then she didn't re-vacuum after she got dust all over the place. It was crazy. She didn't even touch the kitchen.
Didn't bring her own stuff.
No. She used 2 rolls of our paper towels and a whole 2 things of our the wipes, the Lysol wipes. It was insane.
Yeah.
She used my kitchen gloves. Our sponges, yeah.
But you yelped the shit out of them, though.
Well, but I finally got the guy to go down a little bit on the price because, the amount that he was charging was insane. And I took pictures, didn't finish cleaning Jack's toilet even. So I sent him pictures of everything that she didn't do. And he finally knocked the price down. But man, I was pissed. I wanted a nice, sparkly, clean house for that kind of money. I expected it, but didn't get it. So,
it was half-assed.
It was definitely half-assed.
Brianna was very nice and did quite a bit.
Jack's girlfriend, Jack and Brianna came over the next day because they were at her house that night. And came over and finished the toilet and dusted. Brianna dusted like down here and stuff. So very, very sweet. And Jack took apart the steam cleaner, our carpet cleaner, and got all the hair and junk out. So yeah, it was nice that they came over and and did some stuff. So yeah, that's about it for what happened this week.
Yeah.
So do you want to get to our question?
Sure.
Okie dokie.
Oh. Who were your best friends in your early 20s?
Wow. That was a lifetime ago. Literally.
Yeah, it was.
Do you want to go first, or
Sure.
you got to think of all your friends?
Yeah, in my early 20s was Barnett and Garcia. When I went to Germany the first time, I was
in the Army.
Yeah, in the Army. They put me the first night. They put me in with Garcia, and then they had another guy come in from Fort Campbell. So they put both of us in the same room because we were both brand new.
Oh, okay.
So they put us in the same squad, same everything. And he became one of my best friends. And Garcia was so cool. He was just diagonal down the hall, and he was into Iron Maiden and heavy metal.
All the stuff you like.
Yeah, loved it. And so I hung out with Garcia a lot. We listened. He had a monster stereo too.
Right.
And so we would be blasting out in the barracks all the time. And Barnett, my roommate, we went to Spain for Thanksgiving one year. All of us got on a bus.
That's awesome.
And Garcia, Barnett, me, and a bunch of other guys from the company, but it was us three just palling around the whole place.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool. So those are your Army buddies.
Yes.
Now, did you have any other people that you knew, or like Sandy's friends, or?
No, we didn't. Well, yes, they're very family oriented. So
your first wife,
her family lived. Yeah, my first wife. Her family lived on one floor of what you see in Germany, those skinny, tall, 3-story buildings.
Okay.
We had the second floor.
Okay.
And Helmut's brother had and his family had the third floor. Her
stepdad's brother was on the top floor.
Yeah.
And his family.
Yeah.
That's so strange, isn't it?
So we would always end up down in the cellar drinking wine. And one of her cousins, I want to say Bettina was her name. Her boyfriend was, I think he was Turkish, but I know he spoke Turkish, I believe. And he would come down and he spoke a little English, and he would come down and like grab a guitar or an accordion and just start playing.
Oh, really?
And that's what I think he did for a living. He was in a band. He played keyboards in a band.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And really, really good. So he would just pick up an instrument and start playing it and sing funny songs in German. So I didn't get a whole lot of it.
Right.
But they just cracked up. Just fucking slayed.
Oh, really? Yeah. Interesting.
All the time.
Oh, that's funny.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, and he was very nice to me. Really nice to Barnett when I got married. At the reception, he latched onto Barnett and they palled around.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I had pictures. I think I still do somewhere of him with Barnett.
Oh, yeah.
And they're both drunk and they're just like
laying around on each other.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
that's cool. You had a really interesting 20s, I think.
Some really neat friends and did some really neat things in my 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Getting to go to Spain, getting to go to Europe at all.
Yeah.
In your early 20s, it's like, craziness. Well, that's cool. I guess in my early 20s, I was with Patrick. No, really, I was with Steve. So at that point, I was just with Steve. Just started to be with him, my first husband. And he, I hung around with a lot of his friends because my friends were still like punk rocky type people. And Steve sailed professionally on sailboats and made sails for sailboats. So the friends that he had and the friends that I had were totally different. Totally different.
Sure.
So I was out of, the punk rock scene at that point, really. And so I started hanging around with his friends. And his friends were other people, other guys that sailed with him on boats, on particular people's boats, like people that he sold sails to and made sails for. He would sail with them on their boat too during races.
Right.
So, yeah, that was pretty much. I ended up hanging around with wives and girlfriends. Misty was one of the wives. Misty Wooten. He sailed for Mike on Allegiance. Vicki Lawrence, the Vicki Lawrence was a wife of Al. And Steve sailed with him too. He made sails for him and also raced with him. And several girlfriends that I couldn't even begin to remember their names. But
were they plastic and fantastic?
Oh, we had one plastic fantastic. Yes, it was Roy Disney. It was I think it was his girlfriend. So, I mean, it's Roy Disney.
You got the money.
Yeah, you're going to spend the money on your girlfriend, right? So basically, our friends in my early 20s were Steve's friends.
Yeah.
So I just kind of started acclimating because those people have money. So I started just acclimating to that type of lifestyle, which, wasn't that hard for me to do.
Sure.
I ended up being the nanny for Mike's kids, Mike and Misty's kids. When they'd go out of town, we'd live there with the kids and whatnot. And I ended up nannying for all sorts of people, all sorts of big wigs in the sailing world. During America's Cup, I was a nanny for a couple of kids, a couple of families, and one of them was sailing. Two of them were sailing in America's Cup, which is like basically the sailing Olympics. So yeah, I kind of got a reputation for taking care of the kids. So I was like money adjacent. I didn't have money,
but you were in that.
But world. I was in the world where people did have money, so it was kind of cool. But then sometimes it was kind of like, you're the help, you're not part of this, so don't get too comfy.
Yeah.
So, but it was fun. I mean, what can I say? Hanging around the yacht club or, at AVYC, Long Beach Yacht Club. We went to New York, the Knickerbocker Yacht Club, the San Diego Yacht Club, just, yeah, all over the place, all the different yacht clubs and the snooty. That's where I learned to drink gin and tonics. A G&T, please. So, with a lime. So, and Steve's dad sailed, he raced as well. So Steve grew up in the whole sailing arena. That's why he got into making sails and sailing for people on boats. So everything kind of revolved around sailing in our house. We bought a small boat called a snipe, and we raced it one time. Boy, that was a hard boat because there was a lot of this. You had to have hiking. You had to hike out like this to make the boat stay. the way it's upright, basically.
Was that, I mean, why? Is that because the wind is hitting the sail so hard?
Yes.
Why not just open the sail a little bit so it's not?
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't work like that. You're trying to go the fastest you possibly can.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, if you're trying
in a
to
race,
go fast, yeah.
In a race, and this snipe boat, it had a like a not a rudder. It had a rudder in the middle of it. So every once in a while, you'd have to pick it up because there'd be seaweed on it and be dragging. So you'd have to take it out and let the seaweed fall off and push it back in. It was crazy. The amount of work to be on that boat was nuts.
Really? Because it always looks like, you're out in the bay just having a good time.
Well, and sometimes you are. We could just sail the boat too.
Yeah.
But racing it was different. We had pants that were shorts, and they were Kevlar, and they had these like hard boards right on up each leg up to your butt, so that you can
sit on the edge.
So you can sit on the edge and not hurt yourself and not kill yourself. They're called hiking pants. And over those you wore foul weather gear, which are just kind of like bibbies, waterproof bibbies, So yeah, I mean, it was a lot, but it was fun. I had a really good time learning how to sail like that. I already knew how to sail from my childhood, but it was fun. The people were fun. Most of the time, I still had my friends from when I was with Patrick. I still had some of those friends. I had Kim, who you've met. I had Jim, and what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. There were 3 of them that I worked at the warehouse with, and we palled around a lot because, I worked at Disneyland at that point, so I would take everyone into Disneyland, and Kim and I stayed in touch. I lost touch with the other guys, but so Steve knew Kim as well. She came to a Christmas party that we threw. Yeah, my early 20s were weird. They were a weird time, man. When I think about it, I'm just like, that was such a different life than I have now. Like I can't imagine being in that life, it was so strange. But it was fun. I had a good time. Things happen, and when I was 29, I met you.
Yeah. I was 27.
Yeah, you were 27. So I'm sure we'll get to the...
And I lost all my friends.
You lost all your friends. I lost all my friends too. We both lost all our friends.
We hang out now.
We had to find it. We had to find other friends, but we still just have each other.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have a lot of the friends from church.
No, because church hurt us.
Yeah.
We had some hurt feelings there. So
that's why I wanted to go back to Try and Love.
Okay.
They seem, well, it's Calvary.
Calvary, yeah.
Calvary adjacent.
Yeah.
So their theology I like.
Right. But I was talking about it today on my live when I was doing my makeup, is that, church is church. You said that, right? Church is church and
God is God.
God is God.
And they sometimes do not meet.
Right. And it's going to be hard for us to find, because we're not conservative in our political beliefs.
Right.
And, but we believe in Jesus, and we believe in the Bible, and
we believe in his teachings, how we interpret them.
Right.
Which doesn't take a whole lot.
Right.
To do unto others.
Right.
To
love thy neighbor.
Right.
Right. Exactly. So, but we live in Nebraska, and it's difficult to find people with our same beliefs who are Jesus people. So that it's really hard to deal with. we can't find people, you know,
right,
that have the same ideals that we have, who still are Jesus believers.
that thing is tonight.
What is?
The Reddit thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Are we going to go?
Or was it last night? What's today?
21st.
I think it's, I'll check when we're
Okay.
done.
Yeah, there's an Omaha Reddit meetup that we're talking about going to, because we could find probably people who have our same sense of humor, at least.
Yeah.
Right? Probably not a lot of Jesus people there.
Probably not.
But you never know. You never know who you're going to meet. So, yeah, got off the track there. Sorry about that. I digress.
Yeah, where did we go?
I don't know.
What's the question?
Got to Jesus. It was the early life. It was our early lives. I don't know what happened, but that's okay. So, yeah, I guess those are my friends in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So
Barnett and Garcia were my best friends. I made friends with a couple of the guys. I mean, we were friendly, but we didn't hang out. I was married.
Right.
So I didn't go out and party with the guys very much. So
I still had Wendy
right.
as my best friend, and I still do. So she's been a constant since kindergarten in my life. But, you know, at that point, she was already had her first baby. She already had Brian, and she was married, and she didn't live in Long Beach anymore. She lived in in Paris, California.
Oh, right.
So, she wasn't even around.
Is there a lake out there?
Lake Paris, I think it's called. Perris. Purse. So she lived out there, so I didn't even get to hang around with her. It was all Steve's friends and Steve's lifestyle, but that's okay. It was a fun time. It just seems so bizarre now,
right?
Thinking about it. But yeah, that's it. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it for us. Did we save the date today?
No.
December 21st, 2025?
Yep.
All righty. So I guess that's it for us. Please, if you can, rate, review, like, subscribe on all of our socials. We're on Blue Sky. We're on X. We're on
Twitter.
Not Twitter.
X. Yeah, I know, X.
Insta, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. And you can watch us on Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. And you can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or the iHeartRadio app. So, yeah.
We'll see how that dates us.
What do you mean?
With the apps that are the apps right now.
Oh, yeah, right.
There'll be some new
fangled app that we're going to have to write it down, a new app.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know there are. There's one called Lemonade that I really don't know yet.
Yeah.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
So I'm on it, but I don't really know how it works.
Must be tied with TikTok, because that's where I see this person's on Lemonade.
Same.
I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, same. So we'll probably be on that soon as well.
Hopefully.
So yeah, thanks for watching. And until next time, this has been I Love That. See you later.
Bye.